Welcome, everyone. I would like to welcome members, honorary aldermen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, including those who are joining us virtually. To this annual meeting of the Council. Welcome, members. Welcome, guests. Hope you enjoy what we've got to offer for you today. There will be no fire drill planned this evening. If the alarms sound, please make your way from the chambers using the fire escape on my right, via the staircase, and we do apologise that the lift is not working, but we will be able to assist you if you need any help. Hopefully there won't be a fire, and there won't be a fire drill, and there won't be a fire alarm. Okay, moving on. Item number 1. To elect the mayor of the enduring year. By the way, I'm going out. The new one will be coming in. So I only get to wear this quickly because it's quite hot in here, by the way. Right, so moving on. Can I have a nominations for the position of a mayor for the enduring year, please? Councillor Morgan-Rice.
I'd like to propose Councillor Louise Ashbury.
Thank you, Councillor Rice. Do you have a seconder?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to second that.
Thank you. Members, are there any other nominations? Guest, would you like to nominate yourselves? If there are no other nominations, Councillor Rice, would you like to speak to your nomination?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to first congratulate you at the end of your term as Mayor of Surrey Heath. Over the past year, you've shown your skill, compassion and warmth as our Mayor. You've completed hundreds of engagements, and wherever you've been, you've spread your warmth and joy, which has been the hallmark of your time as Mayor. I also want to pay tribute to your willingness to step into the role when you did. 2 years ago, you had just been elected to this council, brand new to your term as a councillor, and you stepped into the breach to serve as Deputy Mayor, long before is usual for a councillor. But you were undaunted by that challenge ahead of you. You served as the Mayor of Surrey Heath during the 50th year of the council's existence, and you've been our standard bearer excellently. I also want to pay tribute to you as the first Sikh Asian Mayor of Surrey Heath. You've been a role model to so many people from communities who often don't engage with politics. You've been a public face to a council committed to inclusivity and equity across our borough, and you've been a leader for us all. And I know that you will continue this leadership into the future. Being Mayor is not only carrying out engagements, the shaking of hands and kissing babies part of the job, but the other part is chairing these meetings. Often a bit rowdy, usually my fault, but your humour and charm has been key to your keeping control of this chamber, no matter how often we try to push you. Thank you so much for your time as Mayor. From day one, you jumped into serving our residents and our borough as its first citizen. You've been an example for all mayors to come, and I'm sure I speak for all members here how proud we are of you, and thank you for your service. I'm proud to know you, and I'm so proud of the work you've done this past year. Now, Councillor Ashbury, Louise, 1 year ago I stood in this chamber to propose you to be Deputy Mayor, and I'm incredibly honoured that you've asked me to propose you again this year. Last year, I spoke about your commitment to your community, how you care for those around you, and in both your professional work and as a councillor. That commitment has not changed, and I know that as Mayor, you'll bring that same commitment and passion as you do in everything that you do. To many of us in the Lib Dem group, you are sort of a surrogate mother to us, generally by feeding us all with cakes and sweet treats at every opportunity. And I understand that will be no different after tonight's meeting for us all, not just the Lib Dems. Councillor Ashbury is I put here consummate baker, but I think much better than that, talented baker. As I reassured you all last year, her coffee and walnut cake and her lemon drizzle are some of my favourites. I think the It's very clear how much everyone loved your cakes. When I was writing this speech, I was reminded of something you did not long after being elected. You were a brand new councillor attending Surrey Heath House for an induction session and tour of the building, and only elected a few days earlier. This was a brand new role and experience you were embarking on. We were in the reception downstairs, and there was a resident seeking help. Many people were being told to help you. You went over to him, struck up a conversation, and in that moment, I believe he felt he was being heard and seen by a caring person. You hadn't gone through any of the training we do as a councillor or gained the experience that you have now, but you were ready and willing to help. You had distinctive needs, and our well-trained experts were on hand to provide assistance. But you were there, and someone needed help. And to show you care. Councillor Ashbury the report being presented, and the leader asked his usual, are there any questions? And your hand shot up, asking a probing question, which I hope the other Councillor Ashbury won't mind me saying caught him slightly off guard. That to me really shows that you'll not be beholden to any party allegiance as mayor, as is the tradition of the role, and you will chair full council with fairness and equity. Your commitment to this borough is incredible. As Deputy Mayor, you've ably assisted Councillor Kang in her duties, and I know that apprenticeship has set you on the path to be an excellent mayor. You've represented the borough in celebrations in our twin towns, where you've flown the flag for Surrey Heath. Tonight, we're joined in the public gallery by your family and friends, all immensely proud of you. Your two children, Heidi, Ollie, and I think family are also here. I'm not sure if Heidi's here, I do apologise. And I'm sure they share with us all how proud they are of you as you pick up this new opportunity as mayor. I will part with some advice. We may get rowdy and a bit out of order at times, and yes, I do place myself at the top of that list. But your humour, charm, and commitment to this borough will serve you in good stead in keeping us all to task and in order. Councillor Ashbury, I am more than pleased to nominate you to take the office of Mayor of Surrey Heath, and I wish you the very best in your mayoral year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rice, and thank you for the lovely words. It's going to be very difficult for me. And lovely words about Louise Ashbury. I didn't even know half of them, although I've known her for years. Sorry. Right, Councillor Fanning-Cook, as a seconder, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Mayor. How does one follow that? But I would like to echo Councillor Rice's sentiments. We're thanking you for your service. You have been an exceptional mayor, and we are all very, very proud of you. You've got some big boots to fill, Louise, and I can't think of anyone better suited to fill them. You are warm, and you are wise, and you are kind, and you have the best interests of all residents in Surrey Heath at heart. And I know you're going to be an absolutely fantastic mayor. And I know your friends and family are very proud of you. I know everyone on this side of the chamber is very proud of you. And I can't wait to see how you rock this role over the next 12 months.
Thank you again for the lovely words. Okay, would any of the members would like to speak to the nominations or anything else they would like to add to the lovely words about me, about Louise, about me? No? Okay, well then we'll carry on. Members, Councillor Louise Ashbury has been nominated as a mayor of the enduring year. There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Louise Ashbury elected as a mayor of the borough of Surrey Heath for the enduring year. Can I ask Chief Executive to invite the new mayor to make a declaration of acceptance of office, please?
I, Louise, is it on? Yeah. I, Louise Ashbury, having been elected to the office of Mayor of the Borough of Surrey Heath, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you very much. This declaration was made before me, Nick Stevens, as proper officer of the council. Members, can I please ask you to be upstanding?
I am very honoured to accept the office of Surrey Heath 53rd Mayor. I would like to thank Councillor Rise and Councillor Kell, Fine and Cook for their kind words proposing me for this role, and I will do my best to repay their faith in me to the best of my ability. I thank all members for supporting my election to this position, and I would like to thank everyone here who have come to support me, especially dignitaries, former mayors, and my treasured family and friends, who have all made a huge effort to be here this evening. I am blessed to have my father here, and I'm so grateful to the amazing Avery Bagshot Gardens team for making this possible. There will be light refreshments provided by Alan and myself in the members' room immediately following this meeting for you all, and I would be thrilled if you could join us. It occurred to me that I was only 9 years old when Surrey Heath Borough was formed from Frimley and Camberley District and Bagshot Rural Councils, and I never imagined that 51 years later I would have the opportunity to serve our community in this way. I have thoroughly enjoyed my year as Deputy Mayor, and now I'm extremely honoured to take up this position as Surrey Heath's 53rd Mayor. Surrey Heath is full of dynamic people working collectively to ensure that it remains the fantastic place that it is. I am pleased that the borough still maintains its partnerships with Sucy en Brie and Bietigheim Bissingen, and desperately hope that these international links do not get lost in the local government reorganisation. I will now invest my consort, Councillor Alan Ashbury, with the badge of office. Councillor Ashbury, will you please come to the dais? Oh, do I? I would like to thank our outgoing Mayor, Councillor Sabi Kang, for all her hard work over the past 12 months. It has been a great pleasure to work alongside her as her deputy and see her dedication to the role. Despite the challenges of an important wedding early in her tenure and a debilitating injury to her consort, she took everything in her stride and performed her role admirably. I would like to move a formal vote of thanks to Councillor Sabi Kang for all her efforts during the mayoral year. Thank you very much, Sabi, and your consort. Thank you. I would like to present Councillor Sabi Kang with the past Mayor's badge of office. Sabi, will you please approach the dais? I will now present the mayoral yearbook to Councillor Kang. I would now like to ask Councillor Dr. Nirmal Kang to approach the dais. And I would like to present you with your badge of office. I now invite Savi to say a few words about her mayoral year.
Thank you, Mayor. I always wanted to say that. I have got lots of thank yous, but I think we'll be here all night until midnight. So if that's okay with you, I'll just pick a few. Is that all right? What a year. What a 2 years, actually. As a deputy mayor, I really thoroughly enjoyed getting into it. And as a mayor, being the first Sikh Asian mayor of Surrey Heath was such an honour to take. And I thank every one of you who actually had faith in me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It meant a lot. There was a lot of new, old ideas to follow. I hadn't got a clue. So I thought, why not? If Queen can do it, so can I. And to be honest, now I understand why she did not want Prince Charles to be the king. She held on. And if I had my way, Louise, I would be still sitting there. So, but it is huge. All those who have actually been mayors would be able to echo that with me. That is such a lovely honour to have. And I do hope that you enjoy every single second moment of it, please. It's a lifetime achievement, and it's really an honour to have. Moving on, few thank yous. First of all, I'd like to thank every one of you, which I've already done. I'm doing it again. And also, my first thank you goes to Sean Garrett, being my photographer. Thank you, Sean. And can I have the photographs, please? No? It was really nice to have you doing all that for me. Thank you. I'm not cherry picking for you people, but you all really been well. Josh, thank you for, again, being such a support at all the events we've been to when you were playing the drums and your instruments and everything. And the one thing I really want to say from the bottom of my heart is the thank you at the VE Day, at the flag raising that you played that. It was such a huge honour to have you do that. Thank you. And I'm sure everybody else will agree with that. Thank you. I've only got 10 thank yous, so I've done 2. Moving on to my next thank you is to Nick Stevens. Thank you so much, Nick. We covered the mistakes. We followed on, and for you to take on as a new role, and I was new, we hadn't got a clue what we were doing. Thank you, Councillor Rice, for putting us on our toes. And the word I've learnt was, I wasn't going to say something, but I will say it. And that's going to stick with me. So please don't use that again. That's been taken, and I patent it now. But you've been a great rock and a support. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope the samosas didn't affect anybody. But thank you. Moving on to Rachel Willis. As you imagine, when I became a mayor, we had general election. Rachel took the role, challenge, and everything. Then we had one of the councillors resigned or gone to Hong Kong. Yeah? Louis Mears. I won't forget him because he's watching me on YouTube. I told him to. And we had holding general elections. Elections. And again, that was... Thank you for doing all that for you. And conducting all these meetings, the paperwork, making sure everything was done, the meetings, the YouTube, you name it, and Rachel's done it. Apologies and everything. So thank you very much. Would you all like to join me? So thank you. and a few more. And my other thank you is to Helen Ennis. Would you like to stand? Come here for me. She's hiding. Helen supports the mayor's diary. She supports us. She tells us what to do, although I don't listen. She'll say which photographs are going on, where are you, meeting, so-and-so wants this. And also she's accompanied me to some of the events which we've done, three of us done together. We've met them. We were even went to one of our residents who passed away. We went to the funeral. Thank you for coming with me for that. It meant a lot. Helen has performed such a good job, and I hope she carries on. And I'm going to miss our late meetings. We've done them actually in her house as well. In Sundays, Saturdays, evenings, mornings, we've done them. And those meetings meant a lot, so that I can go out to my engagements, and if I can't make it, Louise can do that, and that we are there to represent Surrey Heath. And we did that, and I would like to say big, big, big thank you to Helen. I forgot how to dress up properly. Just two more thank yous now. I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. Kang. He doesn't like to be called anything else. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for, if it hadn't been for you and your support, I wouldn't be standing here today. See what arranged marriages can do? That's the example. 43 years. And to be honest, we never met each other before we got married 43 years ago. And I think he's just realised who he married last year, when I did no cooking, no ironing, no cleaning. And when he ruptured his Achilles, I says, here's the wheelchair, sort yourself out. I've got mayoral duties. And that's what it is. And I really want to say thank you. I think Mum and Dad would be proud. My big thank you goes to my children who are not here today, but they have supported me really, really well. They encouraged me. There were days when I said, no, I can't do this. And believe me, there were days. When Dr. Kang had hospital appointments, he couldn't drive me. My son had to come, my daughter. Christmas Day, she goes, Mum, don't worry. We'll go. Thank you. My daughter, apparently, she even did the hampers so that I can take them. She did labels for the little gifts I took to the homes. She did the recording. She was with me. And my children came, even though they were drifted away. My daughter got married and she still didn't have a honeymoon because my duties came first. So 2 weeks, the honeymoon was delayed by 2 weeks, so that she can look after Dad while I go and do my mayoral duties. Apologies if I let the children take over you, and it was hard, but I enjoyed every single minute of it. I've met so many people that I cannot stand here and count them. They're all in this book. Everyone I hugged, I don't shake hands, but I do hug. And that warmth and the hug I got back was so lovely that I think you should all start hugging people. And thank God we're not in COVID. Can you imagine how I would be? It has been a wonderful year. And it has not stopped here. I will carry on. I will meet the people I've met. The friendship is not ended here. And all of you, you're all my friends. and Bagshot Gardens. I'm still coming there. It was a hard act to follow from previous mayors, but I tried my best, and I hope I did. But being the first Sikh Asian, I also had India newspapers watching me as well. So I had that on my shoulders, and I did not want to let Surrey Heath down. And I don't think I did, because they haven't reported anything bad about me yet. So watch out for those papers. So finally, I'm not going to say too much now, otherwise we'll never finish off, and then the tea and coffee is going to be waiting. I wish Louise all the best for the future and for the upcoming year. Thank you, every one of you. And if I haven't mentioned your names out particularly, it's not because I didn't got support from you. It's just that I can't list everybody. Valerie. I did also do some, as well as going to, but I did do a charity event as well called Murder in the Chambers, and I got murdered. But it was, then I had to quickly change it, because I said, well, if I'm murdered, then I can't carry on. So I changed it to the Murder in the Chambers, and it was really, so that was my charity event, which I took to raise money for my two charities, which was Camberley Care and Surrey Heath, South East Ambulance Service. There were other, I'd like to also thank every one of you who has actually donated towards my charities. The donations came from everywhere, and thank you for the donations. So saying no more, thank you, and thank you so much. Love you all.
So item number 2 is to appoint the Deputy Mayor for the ensuing year. Can I please have the proposers for nominations for Deputy Mayor? Thank you. Councillor Garrett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations in your new role. I have the pleasure of proposing Councillor Cliff Betton in the role of Deputy Mayor.
Do you have a seconder?
Mayor, I also add my congratulations, and I am happy to second Councillor Benham. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? Councillor Garrett, would you like to speak to your nomination?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wasn't planning on speaking on this item. I had to, I'm sorry. Good evening, everybody. It is my pleasure to nominate Councillor Cliff Betton for the role of Deputy Mayor of Surrey Heath for the term spanning the next municipal year. Before Cliff became a councillor, I have to admit I didn't know him at all. We come from different political backgrounds, yet here I am, standing before you, making the case for why he is the right person for the job. If that's not cross-party cooperation, I don't know what is. Cliff has lived in Surrey Heath since 1984, settling in Frimley Green, though he might remind us it's the posh part. His children were educated locally and now work within the borough, with two of them working alongside him in his business, a true family operation. He founded Delphic HSE, a global consultancy that started humbly in a back bedroom in Frimley. Under his leadership, the company have grown internationally, helping businesses navigate product safely and regulatory compliance. Beyond business, Cliff's record on public service speaks for itself since his election in 2019, then re-election in 2023. He has played a leading role in Surrey Heath's governance, chairing both the Planning Committee and the Audit and Standards Committee with diligence and fairness. While our paths didn't cross before his time on the council, and though we may not always agree on politically, I have no hesitation in saying that Cliff is the right person for this role. I fully believe he will serve Surrey Heath with integrity, commitment and a great sense of perspective. With that, I am proud to confirm my proposal for Councillor Cliff Betton in the position of Deputy Mayor for Surrey Heath. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Garrett. Councillor Whitcroft, as seconder, would you like to speak to your nomination?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, and for once this will be brief. But before I get to that, five words to our past mayor. Thank you, Sabi. Fantastic job. Thank you. So back to the very short few words which I will say. But I would add that if you want to come back next year and we're all here together, then you might get the full unexpurgated story of Councillor Betton. It will be worth the wait. But for now, all I'll say is that I've known Cliff for more years than I care to think about. He's an experienced councillor. He's a brilliant ward councillor, and he's great at casework, and he takes an awful lot of that with huge persistence and sometimes quite a lot of courage as well. And as members may have noticed in this chamber, he's not half bad at chairing meetings. So I think you'd agree that this combination will make him an excellent deputy mayor, and ultimately, perhaps, even the last mayor of Surrey Heath. But anyway, for all of that, just remember to come back next year for the full story. In the meantime, I second the nomination with great enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Whitcroft, as seconder. Would any other members like to speak on this nomination? Members, Councillor Cliff Betton has been nominated as Deputy Mayor for the ensuing year. There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Cliff Betton elected as Deputy Mayor for the Borough of Surrey Heath for the ensuing year. I would like to ask the Chief Executive to invite Councillor Cliff Betton to make the declaration of acceptance of office.
Not putting on the microphone. I, Cliff Betton, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Surrey Heath, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. Thank you. Thank you. I'll sit here.
This declaration was made before me, Nick Stevens, as proper officer of the council.
I now invest Councillor Cliff Betton as my Deputy Mayor and welcome him to the role.
How could
I would now like to invite the Deputy Mayor to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Short, sharp, sweet and to the point, I think is best at this stage. It's strange sitting here instead of down there. When I was first elected in 2019, Councillor Robin Perry was mayor. Since then, we have had a number of ladies who, I am pleased to say, are all here now. Sarah Jane, Louise, Sarby, Pat, Helen. And now we're going to have a Valerie. I'm so sorry. And now we're going to have a different shaped hat. I've got big boots to fill, and I hope I'm up to it. Thank you for your support and your confidence.
I would now like to ask Lindsay Betton to approach the dais so that I can invest her as Deputy Mayor's consort.
I'm going to have a hug here too.
Apologies for absence. Miss Willis, may I please have the apologies for absence?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've received apologies from Councillor Liz Noble, Councillor Sashi Malvaganam, Councillor Bob Rakes and Councillor Victoria Wheeler.
Item 4, minutes. I propose that the minutes of the council meeting held on 16th of April 2025 be approved as a correct record. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to second those minutes.
Is that agreed, members? Declarations of interest. Agenda item 5, declarations of interest. Do any members have any disclosable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest to declare in relation to the matters which are to be considered at this meeting? So this is just a brief announcement from me. I have already expressed my grateful thanks to everyone for their support. So it only remembers for me to announce my chosen charities for the coming year, which are Home Start Surrey Heath and MenCap, both very dear to my heart. Item 14, questions from members of the public. Members, I propose to bring this item 14 on the agenda forward, so we will now hear questions from members of the public. I am pleased that question 1 has been received from, that just one question has been received from a member of the public. Mr Hodges Long, would you come to the mic?
Thank you, Mayor. May I extend my thanks to Councillor Kang for her amazing work last year in service of our borough, and my best wishes to our new Mayor, Councillor Ashbury, for the year ahead. Good luck. So on to the question. Can the council please explain to residents its land and property portfolio strategy, the decision-making processes used, and why it is proposing to sell any assets at all? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Hodges Long. I have been advised that the Property and Economic Development Portfolio holder, Councillor Kel Finan Cook, will respond to this question. Councillor Finan-Cook, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to advise members that there is a slight amendment to my response from the published one, and thanks to the member for making me aware of my small error in wording there. Thank you for your question. The council owns a wide range of property and land, covering areas such as retail shopping centres, light industrial estate units, commercial and council office spaces, community buildings, leisure and theatre buildings, recreational green spaces and parks, and small strips of land dotted here and there. This is what we call the council's land and property portfolio. Our manifesto, which received 28,416 votes in May 2023, which is 48.8% share of the vote, had one of its 6 core themes: make council property work, which was translated through the council's public-facing committees into the strategy in November 2024. It's taken a lot of work by officers, given weaknesses in financial oversight and property management we inherited, to collate what the council actually owned, what the statuses of any leases might be, to check obligations were being met, whether we were collecting service fees due, whether these had been escalated over time, and to consider how we might manage any land or property going forwards. We were at the point by the turn of the year where the work has been diligently done, and we were able to look forward with the land and property portfolio, aiming to balance the needs of the community with council taxpayers' rights to value for money. The council started a transformation programme at the beginning of the last financial year to deal with the funding gap, which was believed to be somewhere in the region of £2.6 million per year in 2026-2027. The programme set a target of £1.85 million per year revenue savings and £10 million in capital receipts over the 3 years to help return the council to a balanced budget. As we invested in our finance team to help support with getting our finances in order, we became aware that the financial challenge we all face was even more significant, and what was a £2.6 million gap each year was closer to an eye-watering £8 million each year, and our reserves had been depleted by £12 million in parallel. Because of this huge hole in the council's finances, we have had to accelerate our transformation programme to balance our books and avoid repairing government intervention in the next 2 years, like Woking and Spelthorne, where decisions are made by government commissioners and all discretionary services are at severe risk or immediate cuts. These include continuing provision of play parks and leisure facilities, support for local charities like Citizens Advice and Hope Hub, who work with those most disadvantaged in our community, or subsidising community services like Meals at Home that support the most vulnerable in Surrey Heath. One of the 3 key transformation work streams has always been council property and land, and the strategy has always been to only hold assets that are either key to services we provide for residents or generating a positive return for the council. We are a council serving the community, not a property business at our core. Outside of these criteria, any assets which are considered as viable propositions for sale or transfer have been put forward to the Council's Property and Economic Development Working Group for consideration for marketing. The sales of surplus sites are essential to deliver capital receipts which enable repayment of debt and therefore reduce the interest cost burden on the Council, protecting other services for the benefit of many residents. Given the government has doubled the already challenging housing building target within the borough in the last 6 months, any sales that allow development of affordable homes on brownfield land or through infilling has a triple benefit to protect our wider green spaces within the borough as much as possible, supporting our finance and providing homes for key workers or other aspiring residents. The Property and Economic Development Working Group is not some smoke-filled room, and it makes no binding decisions. It is a cross-party working group of councillors supported by officers who discuss property management, disposal and acquisitions. The agendas, reports and minutes of these meetings are only confidential due to the commercial sensitivity of some of the discussions taking place. The working group provides a steer to officers on the management of our assets, and any formal decisions relating to sale or disposal going before the executive committee for consideration, which is in full accordance with the council's constitution, the law of the land and relevant financial regulations. In assessing the sale or transfer, the executive committee of the council will review the holistic assessment provided by the officers and their recommendation in public, open to scrutiny, and with the option of residents' questions being raised. In making any decision, the executive needs to balance the financial needs of the council, the benefit to residents locally, of any change or not, the contribution to house building targets and the impact on our community overall, as well as other aspects to ensure the best value threshold is met.
Thank you, Councillor Fine Cook. Mr Hodges Long, would you like to ask a supplementary question?
Yes, please, Mayor, I would. As I'm sure you're all aware, rumours are rife in community groups about so-called fire sales of parks and other property.
Sorry, Mr Hodges Long, would you put your microphone on, please?
Oh, it's on.
Oh, it's on.
Can we start again? Okay, so as I'm sure you're all aware, rumours are rife in community groups about so-called fire sales of parks and other property. Could the council provide examples of land and property that would or would not be considered for sale or transfer to community groups under this strategy?
Would the portfolio holder like to respond? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. We've been very open and transparent with our proposals for the disposal of property and land, including when officers provided an update on the transformation programme to the P&F Scrutiny Committee in March of this year. The core principle is to ensure that the council only holds assets that are either key to resident services we provide or generating a financial return, thus making a contribution to the council's general fund over the medium term. It is unlikely that a financially attractive offer would be possible for the main town centre shopping acquisitions in 2016 by the previous administration due to the horrendous loss in their value experienced since. However, never say never, and people win the lottery all the time. It may be possible in the current market conditions that one or other of our industrial unit or commercial office suites attract a suitable offer, and we would consider disposal should an offer emerge organically. However, on balance, this part of the portfolio in total does provide a positive net return after borrowing costs to support resident services. Our own offices are likely to move anytime soon. They remain part of the wider Camberley Town Centre regeneration plan and envisage to make a major contribution to achieving our housing targets in the long term. We also do not think that the council is always the natural owner of all facilities leased to community groups or sited locally, and provided long-term protections are put in place, we are open to others like parish councils, scout groups, residents associations and sports clubs taking facilities forward on our community's benefit. This would also protect them through local government reorganisation changes. We will consider these on a case-by-case basis, consulting one-to-one with relevant stakeholders. Any redundant, significantly underutilised or high future liability community facilities would be options for future development. There are no plans to do anything with our much treasured larger open spaces, leisure facilities or play parks, and anybody saying so is deliberately misleading residents. Worth noting that most of our key open spaces have very, very specific protection from development through our current local plan and related policies. So what's left? Mainly some brownfield properties or land sites with some smaller infill locations dotted around every part of the borough that we can create financial value from for council tax-paying residents, contribute to housing targets and provision of homes for people. And this is all exactly what we said we would do in our manifesto in May 2023. In reality, for the vast majority of land and property assets, there are no changes envisaged, despite the misinformation being spread online. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Fine Cook, and thank you, Mr Hodges Long, for your question. Returning back to the agenda, I now invite the leader to announce how he intends to exercise his executive functions for the coming year in relation to the appointment of a deputy leader, the appointment of a portfolio holder and their areas of responsibility, and the nature and extent of any delegation of executive functions to the executive collectively, individual executive members or officers.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and congratulations on your appointment, and to Councillor Betton on his, and again, sincere thanks for your contribution through the last year, Councillor Kang. Members, in accordance with the governance arrangements adopted by this Council in 2011, I advise you on how I intend to exercise the Council's executive functions for the coming year. I intend to exercise decisions collectively through the executive and the scheme of delegation to officers in respective executive functions remains unchanged, as it is set out in the Constitution. The appointment of portfolio holders and their areas of responsibility is as set out in the Constitution. Portfolio holders are as follows: Councillor Alan Ashbury, Built Environment and Regulation; Councillor Kell Feenan-Cook, Property and Economic Development; Councillor Lisa Finan-Cook, Housing and Communities; Councillor Leanne McIntyre, Performance and Finance; Councillor Morgan Rise, Environment and Recreation. I appoint Councillor Alan Ashbury as Deputy Leader and look forward to benefiting from his counsel. I would like to personally take this opportunity to thank all members of the Executive for their support in the past turbulent year of bringing financial transparency to this Council and working through the planning of our future transformation. I can confidently say the financial devastation uncovered and dealing with it was not what any of us signed up for. Like all members in their duties, we do it to the best of our ability to support the Surrey Heath community in which we all live, work, study and play. It is not without its cost and scars to many of us, I know. His special thanks goes to Councillor Morgan Rise as he steps back from Deputy Leader. He has been extremely accessible, generous and flexible with his time to support me in my role, not least in covering external appointments, be they happy or unfortunately a number of sad ones. Thank you, Morgan. Lastly, a thank you to Chief Executive Nick Stevens for his professional and personal support in steering the Council through this unplanned storm. Thank you, Mayor.
Item 8. I propose that the committee of the Council be appointed, the number of members per committee be agreed, and that the scheme of proportionality be adopted as set out in the agenda supplement that has been laid on the table. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Mayor. I would second that proposal.
Members, are there any other proposals? All those in favour, please raise your hand. Any abstentions? Members, I declare this vote carried. Item 9. The membership of the committees of the Council as proposed by the group leaders has been circulated. I propose, having regard to the nominations of the political groups, that the membership of the committees of the Council be as circulated. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Mayor. I second that proposal.
Is that agreed, members? Agreed. The nominations which have been received for the positions of Chair and Vice Chair are as circulated. Are there any additional nominations to those tabled? I propose that the positions for Chairs and Vice Chairs of the committees are appointed as circulated. Do I have a second?
Thank you, Mayor. I second that proposal.
I declare those positions appointed as circulated. Item 11, Joint Committee. Can I have a proposer for the Council's nomination to the Surrey Police and Crime Panel for 2025-26? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to propose Councillor Richard Wilson be appointed as Council Member on the Surrey Police and Crime Panel for the year 2025-26.
Thank you, Councillor MacDonald. Do you have a seconder?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to second that proposal.
Thank you, Councillor Ashbury. Thank you, members. Councillor Richard Wilson is appointed to the Surrey Police and Crime Panel. Item 12. the list of the working groups and other bodies it is proposed to establish together with the allocation of the seats and the nominations of the political groups to those seats has been circulated. Can I ask for a member to move that the membership of these groups is adopted? Thank you.
I would like to propose these memberships as documented. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor MacDonald. Do you have a seconder?
I would like to second that proposal, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ashbury. Is that agreed, members?
Agreed.
Agenda, item 13. I propose that the scheme of delegation of functions as part 3 of the Constitution as set out on Annex A be agreed. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Mayor. I would second that proposal.
Is that agreed, members? Agreed. Thank you, members. That is agreed. That concludes the business of the annual meeting of the Council. Thank you, members, for attending, and thank you to any members of the public that have been watching this evening. I invite you all to join me in the members' room for tea and cake.